Hey everybody and welcome back. My name is Sue and I'm from OML Embroidery, and the man behind the computer is Don, so we can say hello to Don.
Hello.
Hello. So, welcome to the sewing verse. I need to have a voice mod for that. Welcome to the sewing verse. Just a funny name that we did. So, hello everyone. Hi all, says Jennifer. Rose, hello, hello. Jennifer, hello, hello. She's saying hello to you. Hi there, Karen from New York City. Awesome. So, the first thing I want to show you guys, I'm still working on my lace. Still working on it. Look at this. Is that cool?
Elephant.
Yeah, Battenberg lace kind of style. So Shannon says hi. Hello. Lynn says hello. Louise, good evening. Yeah, it almost is dinner time. So let me know what you guys think of this. I think it's awesome. I've been experimenting. So what I'm gonna do is do a regular freestanding lace, and then I'm gonna call it a fancy one. Misha, hello. Hello. Sandy, hello. Glad you're here. Um, it's awesome. So, anyways, I just wanted to, quilt chat with that. So, today we are going to be sewing. Now, part one of this was we stitched this out. And this is free from Dime. So dzgns.com. There is a link in the description. And we're going to finish it today. Now, I started it a little bit and I'm doing it a little bit differently, but not a whole lot. And I'm going to show you guys each step that I've taken, and then we're going to finish the pieces. I am scrapping it, so nothing is going to particularly match, and I'm okay with that. So remember, your dime mat, which I absolutely adore, is not a cutting mat, and it isn't a ironing mat either. So I have this thing from June Taylor, and I really wish I bought a bigger one. There's a longer one, it would have been nice. But anyways, cut and press. So one side is a cutting board, and this side is for pressing. And it just comes in handy. It has a handle on it up here. I'll show you when I have to turn it when we trim everything up. It's just super handy. There is another one, I think it's Martelli, that I would love to get, but it's almost impossible to get. And it's a 16-inch round one, and it turns on ball bearings, so it turns really easily. And you just take off the ironing part and you put on the cutting part. But I couldn't get that, so I got this, and it's handy. So, what I've done, my first step after I stitched it out, note the blue thread, I'm really happy with that. I took it to my cutting table. I find it a whole lot easier to cut while standing up, and it just comes out better. So I cut it down using the outside stitching as a guide, and I just made a 1/4 inch around. You can get rulers that do a 1/4 inch, you can measure a 1/4 inch, there's lots of ways of doing it. And then I've done this side. So this is the small piece, so it's 1 inch. And these are from this stash jelly roll that I've used for literally everything. So I'm down to scraps, so I am going to put the scraps away. They're not going to stay out anymore. And I had little pieces, and that's what I used to sew together here. So I took one piece to the measurement and I cut it in half, and that's 1 inch basically. It's a little bit more, but that's okay. And then I just cut these to size, and I cut it this way. I'll show you guys how to do it. We're gonna do this side. Now I have done the piece, but I'll show you how I did it. So first thing, cut that. Now in Eileen Roche's instructions, she put batting on the back of each piece and quilted it. Just she just did a free motion quilt, but I'm gonna see how it looks at the end. So this one has batting and this one doesn't, and you can't leave it like this because this part won't look any good. But you can always put, you know, one piece under here or just one piece under the whole thing. I just didn't want to mess with the batting right now. I'm rolling up my sleeves. We are going to get this done. So out of my pieces, I just picked some. I didn't have a whole lot to choose from. So I just picked some and put them together. And this one I've trimmed to size. I'll show you how to do that. But it looks pretty good. I kind of like it. Now I should have a small piece of the purple butterflies somewhere. My little piece. Where'd you go, little piece? I'm hoping these are going to fit for the top and bottom sashing, but I don't think they will. So I have backup fabric. I don't know where my little purple piece is. Did you take my little purple piece, Dawn?
Might have. I don't know.
I found it.
Okay,
It was underneath the board.
I didn't.
Whew, because I really wanted it to work. So I'm just going to iron that with my little iron. And we have that ready. So let's go to the sewing machine and we're going to sew these pieces together, and I'll show you guys exactly how I did everything. Awesome. So to the machine. Dun 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 dun. So I've turned my machine into a sewing machine. When you boot it up, you just go to sewing, or you hit the home button and you go to sewing. And I have my 1/4-inch foot on here. And that is, for me, a lifesaver. So when you're sewing anything together, it is right sides together. Now, pin them if you want. I'm kind of lazy when it comes to pinning, so I'm not gonna. And I'm taking a big risk, I know. Big risk doing it live. I'm probably gonna mess it up now. I gotta try to not hold my hand in front of anything. So yeah, it's always awkward with the cameras. So same needle, actually the same thread. I'm just using white thread. It doesn't matter. I'm hoping you guys can see it well enough. And don't forget to plug in the foot pedal. So always take your time, but see how the guide works? It's kind of mindless, and I like that. There's all sorts of measurements, so that's very helpful. You can reverse if you want. And I'm suffering with not having the right foot pedal. So that's one. See how easy that was? Easy. Now I'm going to put this one on the top. So right sides together. And like I said, these are just scrappy scraps. So, you know, I'm not worried about it at all. So we're going to do the same thing. And I'm going to line it up better. Pin if you need to. Pin if you need to. There we go. All right. So foot pedal. Now there's a speed setting. Of course, you can control most of the speed with your foot, but there is a setting that you can make it go slow or fast sort of thing. So I kind of like that. So look, that was easy. Let's go back to the desk, and you guessed it, we got to iron. So what fun is that? Ironing. Whoop-de-doo. Are we back on the desk, Don?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you didn't say anything. How am I supposed to know?
When I interrupt.
Oh, you always interrupt. That's all
When
you
I feel
do.
like it.
That's all you do, man.
When I feel like it,
Oh, well, you don't feel like it today?
I do what I want.
So you can do the seams to one side, or you can open them. Opening them gives it a little bit better of a look, and I like it. So one side, then the other, nice and flat. Look how beautiful that is. Perfect. So it looks kind of wonky, and we want it to look like this, right? Nice and straight and a certain size. So let's flip over my June Taylor, and I'll show you how I did it. So now I have the cutting side up. How cool is that?
It's kind of handy.
Yeah, it's totally handy. Even handier than that is my cutting tool, my small one. I love these. I love these. I love these. These are Stripology rulers, and this is the mini size. So, oh, you can actually see it on that camera. So this is where 0 is, and we want them to be 2.5. So you line it up to a point that you know is straight, and you got to be careful. I'm a bit short on here. You can see that, hopefully. So I want to make sure I'm over a little bit, and I got to make sure that I'm on the 2.5 mark. So I'm lining up the bottom to this white line. There's lines everywhere to help you. And normally I do the cutting standing up, so we'll see how I do. Hold on to it. Remember, it's the 2.5. And can you see down here, Dawn? No.
You can see where the bottom where your cutter is there.
Yeah. Okay. So it has channels on it, and this is what makes it so fantastic. So perfectly straight lines. Now don't move it, because we want to hit the 0 too. How cool is that? That is how you make straight lines. That was a little bit awkward, but look at the results. It's perfect. It's perfectly perfect. So it didn't matter how I sewed everything together. I didn't have to do it neatly. So I have this one. There's a medium one that I don't have, but I have the large one. So if you're cutting out strips of anything, squares, shapes, it's got lines for triangles, but my favorite thing is just a straight line. I can't tell you how much I love cutting a straight line. So we will be using that to square it up at the end, but for now we're gonna flip over and put everything back the way it was. So now we're gonna do this side. Now remember, I don't have any batting underneath it. You don't have to. So you can either sew, it's got to be right sides together, sew this to this and then this, or sew these two together and then sew it. But I'll do it the way Eileen Roche gave instructions. Now, pins are your friend, people. Now, I find it easier in so many ways. I'm going to put it like this. There's going to be some overhang. You don't want to short yourself out. And then I'm going to turn it over, and that's the line I'm going to basically stitch on, because I very carefully, cut this out. So I know it's 1/4 of an inch. So just line everything up like that. Super easy. Let's go over to the machine, Dawn, please. And I'm going to tuck it underneath there. Remember, right sides together. And I want to go back a little bit, but see how nicely this lines up? It's perfect. It's perfect. So that's all I'm doing. If you need to pin. I don't always. I'm taking a big risk, though, doing it live. For sure. But, So there we go. That's one piece. Oh, and I did get it a little crooked because I said something. Ha! But it's an easy fix, so don't ever worry. I do this all the time. You could leave it as well. You don't even... Oh, I had my Pokemon right in front of me. You don't even have to fix it if you don't want to, but you know what, Seam Ripper, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I just like to show you guys how to fix mistakes and how not to worry about it. It's not a big deal. Like I said, you could leave it if you wanted to. I used white so it kind of shows. But see, it only takes a minute, just a little picking, and we're going to do that all over again. Not all of it, just back to about here. And that's why you use pins. Just saying, that is why. Yeah, that is why you use pins. So I'm going to kind of put it over a smidge. So let's do that again. I hope I'm going to get it right this time because, oh, I hit trim instead. I'm used to doing everything on my foot pedal, so it's kind of weird. So let's pretend it never happened. It only took a minute to fix it. It's hard to see where my stitching is because I'm using white embroidery thread. So reverse, do your reverse. Karina yells at me for not doing the reverse thing. I just never remember. So there we go. Fixed. Look at that. Aren't I clever? Fixed. Super easy. So now we are going to get the squares that we cut. And what we have to do here is you have to remember right sides together and pin it, because you know what can happen if you don't pin it. I'm not going to, of course, because I like living on the sewing verse edge. Not really, but you know. There we go. So, pin or not pin, it is up to you. How am I doing so far, Dawn?
I'm thinking it's good. It's awesome.
So, same thing, 1/4 inch. This is when you can use the stiletto or my Pokemon. See, my foot is going to get caught in there, so I just lift the foot up just a little bit. Never be in a rush for sewing. Take your time. If you get frustrated, it is the same with embroidery. Just walk away. Just walk away. That's the easiest thing to do. Stitch Ripper is your friend, not your enemy. That's what I've learned. Just, fix it. Do it again. You can hear that ball. Oh, I keep doing that. Drive myself crazy. And before I leave the machine, I always have a look at it, just in case something's not right, and it's good. So let's go back to the desk. Are there any questions, Dawn? Because I haven't been able to look yet.
No, Callie says I have the bigger ruler, but I haven't used it yet. No, I will, thank you.
Oh man, they're fantastic. They're a lifesaver. We're going to be using the little one quite a bit today.
Chris Yo says she loves the ruler.
Yes, they're awesome. It's kind of weird they can probably hear you because
there's no machine.
No machine going. So I just ironed that open a little bit. See, it's starting to look good.
It is.
It's starting to look good. I love it. So yes, I do iron. I do. You pretty much have to when you're sewing, like quilting and putting stuff together. It makes a big difference. So, be careful not to iron your mylar, please. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to show you how I got perfectly perfect edges. So this is where this amazing ruler comes in handy again. How well can you see that, Dawn?
Pretty good.
This one has all the measurements down the side. So these are 3/4, 4 3/4, so you can turn it different ways. The stars mark the half, and it has strips on the back so it doesn't go anywhere. So am I in a good position here? Yes. Okay, so I'm lining the number 6 line up with the edge. So I was going to line it up with the inside, but that wouldn't work. And we want to pick a straight part. The only mistakes I ever make with this is that I don't have it away from the little loop at the end enough. So I'm going to line up this side with the white. Can we see that?
Yeah, kind of. There's a glare there, but you can still tell.
Okay, because that's how you know you're getting it straight. Put my hand on it and cut. And I'm not going to move. I'm not going to move. I almost did, but I'm not going to move. This is really awkward sitting down. So now I'm going to cut the other side. So don't move it. If you do, it's not a worry at all. But now look at that. Look at that. That is perfect.
Wonderful.
Yeah. This ruler to me makes all the difference. Okay, well, we're getting there. We're getting there. So I'm hoping... Oh, so close. I don't think I want to push it though. Oh, it's so close, Dawn. I wanted to use the same fabric. Darn. I know. It's almost. Should I risk it? Because I think it would look really pretty. I'm going to risk it. What the heck? I can make some easements a little bit. All right, and this time I'll pin. I'll err on the side of safety and I'll pin. So I have some nice long Tula pink ones. Perfect, perfect. So I'm a smidge short, but I think it's gonna look good. So this is the top and the bottom, and again this is, well, it's 1 1/4 inches, and I try to pin it on or close to the seams because seams need to be lined up, so you might as well practice. There are holes in it. Your volume is very low. Oh, okay. There we go. So, okay, I'm just looking at the chat.
I can put comments up now.
Okay, well, you can put them up.
I put up a couple already.
Okay, let's go to the machine. Dawn, please.
Okay.
And what I usually do when I'm using pins is I take my magnetic pin thing. Oh, there's my bodkin right there. That's convenient. I take it with me so then I don't have piles everywhere. So I'm going to be a smidge short and I'm just seriously okay with that. So using my foot, and by the way, I'm just using a straight stitch, like the straight middle stitch. You have to make sure you're on the middle because this is like a straight stitch foot. You can't do anything else with it. So you want to be careful of that. I have done it, and you will just simply break a needle. You can sew over the pins. I won't do it on my Luminaire, but I do it on my other one. Now this is where the easement's gonna come in. So I'm just pulling the top one just a tiny bit, just to make it a little bit better. And let the foot do all the work for you. Because, you know, it works. I like it. I don't have to pay any attention to the little measurements or anything like that. How easy was that? And I should go back and forth. Sorry, Karina. And I'll just take a quick peek. Yeah, see why I wanted that? Oh, la la la. Awesome. Let me get my other piece and we'll put it on and then we'll do some ironing. And we're almost done, believe it or not, guys. We're almost done. So it's really not hard to do. I'm going to make sure both my short-ish sides are at the same end, because that'll make it easier when I'm finishing. Let's see, that's not bad. So I reach down underneath every time. Habit. So, just gonna line stuff up, have a little look there. Might be a little off here, so having a straight lines when you're quilting, so, or piecing even, is just wonderful. It makes all the difference. So, here I am doing it with no pins, but that's okay. Whatever works. And again, always take your time. I have my pedal to the metal, so I could probably turn up the speed, but I don't want to go too fast for everyone. So, coming along, let's go back to the desk, Don. Do you see why this is so handy?
It's very handy.
Just flip and go. So, I like to do this. This is what all the quilters say. You set it, and then I'm just going to do it this way. And don't pull on anything, just let it happen. Some people get adamant about it, and you don't have to that much. Now, there is a difference because I have batting on one part and not on the other, but like I said, I'm going to fix that up once I decide. Hey, we're looking good, aren't we? I like it. I like it. I think I need my iron a bit hotter, but there's only 3 settings on this, so I'm probably going to do stitch in the ditch, I think. So now we have one more layer kind of thing to go, and it's this. So I picked more flowers. What are we going to do? Right sides together. And now this is where when you cut something, it's great to have straight lines. It would have been much easier if I tidied this up using the ruler. So I want to go by this because I know it's straight, not necessarily by the other one. Did you see where the dip was there? Yeah, because we don't want the whole thing to be crooked. So that should do. If you don't want to use pins, you can use these clips. I don't know why that is so crooked, and I wish I had noticed. These clips, Wonder Clips, they're fantastic. See, and I don't have everything cut quite properly because I am using scraps. So, take a look. Is that going to be even? Looks like it. So, let's go back to the machine, Dawn. The colors and the material is beautiful. It's just scrappy stuff. I try to be frugal. I have used this jelly roll for quite a few things. So remember, I'm a little short on this. So put my foot down and I'm going to hold it out. Now I'm not going to, when I'm sewing, I'm not going to worry about this little part sticking out because remember it was uneven. Cut it as straight as you can. So my edge is going to be on the one that I know is straight. That's it. And it doesn't matter if this one, see how it's getting bunched up? I want to make sure my edge here is on the mark. It goes under. We'll see how it looks, and you know what? If I did a terrible job, I'll just do it again. So, I'm liking it so far. My bobbin is bouncing like crazy. So that's one. Let's have a look-see. Oh yeah. But see how I basically evened that out? I'm going to go grab the other piece. I probably should have left more on one end. So I'll make sure I do that for this side. Now, let's see. Oh, bobbin graveyard, getting in my way. So, yeah, I should have done it like this instead of making it short. And I know this one isn't straight again. I know there's going to be a wobble in it. And that's okay. No one will know by the time I'm done. Foot down, I'm just going to look at it again here and see how nicely I can get it. Just hold it straight, so that should hopefully be good. And then we just have to iron and trim. So again, following the one I know that is straight. And also, it's always better to cut it straight. That's why I love AccuQuilt. It's just so easy to learn how to sew with AccuQuilt.
Seamist says, hello, I'm new here, but I watch all your videos and love them.
Oh, well, welcome. Thanks for joining us on a live. This is a little bit different than what we normally do, but we want to finish up this gorgeous design. Isn't that awesome? Okay, back to the desk. And then you guys can see a better overview. But see, the mistake I almost made here was I did it a little too short. It should be like this, so you have some breathing room. And I'm gonna turn it over and do the seam ironing thing. If you don't want to open them, you can just put them to one side, but this does make it a little bit nicer. Most of the quilters say you iron it to the dark side, which I laugh every time they say that, because welcome to the dark side, we have cookies. Awesome. So 1 and 2 do the same thing. So yes, you have to iron. Having a small iron is really helpful too. It kind of enables me to do more ironing because I don't have to haul the big one out and whatever. This just sits here. The only thing I don't like about the Olicio one is it doesn't have auto shut off, so I have to remember to shut it off. So there we go. You can iron more, you can use more steam, make sure everything's kind of flat. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. So what I did to really make sure this worked is plain color for the embroidery and then busy fabrics everywhere else. So there we go. And it works. So I will fix everything when I do stitch in the ditch and when I add more batting. So you really do need to add batting to these parts. Like I said in the instructions, Eileen Roche did each piece with batting on it, which is, you know, awesome. That's fine. I just didn't do it that way. I don't know why. I have plans. So again, we're going to do the flip thing, and we want this to be a nice straight line. So when this is, you know, all squared up, I don't know if you guys know what that is, but you want everything to be a nice square like these ones were. Then you can put the batting and then the backing fabric and bind it if you want, or if you put the batting in while you were doing it, then you could just put the back piece on front and sew it and leave an opening and turn it and then top stitch it. So there's a lot of ways to finish it. So I'm going to get my little ruler. It's not actually little, but you know. And everything's laying flat, and I'm going to do one side at a time. So again, this is where this ruler is absolutely invaluable. Now, it's not going to go the whole way. If I had the medium one, that would be perfect. And I would probably be doing this at my cutting table, so I would use the extra large one. But it's not going to fit on this, and it's a bit awkward, so we're not going to do it. So I'm lining up the bottom right here with this black line. You can pick any line, making sure that you leave enough room. So if that's straight, everything's going to be straight, and I'm going to have to do it in 2 pieces. So I'm not worrying about anything else. It is crooked on the board. It is the ruler's crooked. Everything's crooked. But as long as this is lined up, you're golden. Absolutely. So hold it with one hand and figure out where I'm going to cut it. It's going to have to be here. And you kind of turn it sideways and then cut. See, it didn't quite go to the end, but that's okay. I'm going to just move it up and then line it up again. So I'm going to cut on this one. So kind of hard to line it up. I wouldn't line it up with any of the seams that you make, because you might be making it more crooked. So a lot of times when you're squaring up, there's only little wispy pieces. I don't have to do the top sides for squaring up because it's a pre-cut and I know it's right. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. Isn't it looking good?
I love it.
I'm really happy. So not worrying about the board. We're just worrying about the fabric and the lines. So lining up with the bottom, I'm going to line up my black. And this is where you have to make sure it's going to go all the way, because remember I was short. So I'm going to move it over a little bit so I make sure I get all of that glorious purple in. I did this to myself. I'm willing to accept the consequences. Hold it. Put your cutter in. I was just double checking. Straight to the end. Nice sharp cutter helps. I'm going to pull it down a little bit. It's just a little awkward. But the big one, you'd be able to take it all the way to the top. So I want to make sure at this end that I have enough room. So I'm going to line it up with the edge that I just cut. So this is a line here, and make sure it's straight, and you can tell because it kind of comes off there. That looks pretty good. And there we go. Look at that. Best rulers ever. The sound just got good. Oh, Dawn. So, look, what do you guys think? I love it. And look, it's nice and squared up, and it's ready for quilting. It's ready for backing. It's ready for anything. I wish I had more of this purple to just put completely around the outside. But I'm going to add my batting. I'm going to maybe do some quilting, or I'll stitch in the ditch. And if you don't know what that is, that means I'm going to put the batting on the back, and you can cover the whole thing even though there is some under here. And you just stitch in the lines, and it just gives it that look. So I'll decide which one I want to do, but I'm really happy with how that's turned out. I love it. I could see I was a little off on one, but I'm not going to worry about that. You could actually just kind of make a little crease that would cover it and no one would know. But, you know, whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't think anyone's going to notice that. So, yes, for sure. Isn't that awesome? What do you think, Dawn?
I think it's awesome.
I think the busy flower fabrics, just go with it beautifully. Again, I was just using scraps, so there's no rhyme or reason to any of this. It's just the pieces that I had. I pushed a little bit for these longer purple ones, but I love it. So I'm going to get working on finishing this and making it look good. I'm probably not going to bind it, so I'm going to put the batting and do whatever kind of quilting that I want, stitch in the ditch or whatever. I'm going to put a whole piece of batting, and then I'm going to put the back fabric on top, right sides together, and sew it around, all the way around, except for leave an opening for turning, and then turn it. So there we go. So adding sewing to your embroidery is awesome. And the better you get at the sewing part, the better your embroidery is going to look. This was just a square when we started, and now it's wow. So I'm really happy with that. So you guys get stitching this. Let me see what you can do with your sewing. If you're not very good at sewing, don't even worry. Just try. Just absolutely try. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys will get adding sewing to your embroidery. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!